Stop scrolling. This is the kind of Vikings news you do not want to miss. Because today, we're doing what nobody else dared to do. We're going back through the last 25 years of Vikings football, sorting through the legends, the heartbreaks, the unforgettable plays, and the forgotten names, and building the ultimate Minnesota Vikings all-21st century team. Yeah, you heard that right. Quarterback to kicker, linemen to linebackers, return men to record breakers. This is the definitive roster of the best players to wear purple and gold since the year 2000. And I promise you, some of these picks are going to surprise you. Some are going to infuriate you. And some might just bring tears to your eyes remembering what could have been. But before we get into it, I need you to do one thing. Hit that subscribe button right now. Because this channel, it's not just another NFL news feed. Minnesota Vikings news is where the real fans gather. The ones who live and breathe this team, who know the pain of 2009, the rage of 2015, the ecstasy of the Minneapolis Miracle, and the bitter silence of missed kicks in the snow. We break every story first. We dig deeper. We say what the national media won't. So if you're a true believer in Skol Nation, if you've ever shouted, "This is our year," and actually meant it, then activate that bell and join a tribe that's growing faster than a Justin Jefferson slant route. Now, let me ask you something. What does it take to become a Vikings legend? Is it about stats? Is it about longevity? Big plays in big moments? Or just pure heart? Over the next few minutes, we're going to answer that question name by name as we build the team that represents the very soul of Vikings football in the 21st century. Some names you're expecting: Randy Moss, Adrian Peterson, Justin Jefferson. Yeah, they're in there. But others? You might not see them coming. And some omissions? They'll sting. A lot. So don't go anywhere. This is about legacy. This is about identity. This is about who we are as Vikings fans. And I guarantee by the end of this video, you're going to have opinions. So stick with me through every pick, because when we get to that kicker spot, yeah, it's going to get heated. Let's dive in. This is the Minnesota Vikings all-21st century team. And it starts right now. Let's begin where every franchise dreams of finding consistency, but where the Vikings have wrestled with chaos for decades: the quarterback position. And let's be honest, the 21st century hasn't been kind. We've seen flashes of brilliance, but never the full picture. That said, Dante Culpepper stands above the rest. Drafted 11th overall in 1999, he wasn't just a strong arm, he was a force of nature. In 2004, Culpepper threw for 39 touchdowns and over 4,700 yards, breaking Dan Marino's total yardage record in the process. He had the legs, he had the swagger, and more importantly, he had Randy Moss. But just when it seemed like Culpepper was taking the Vikings into a new golden age, a catastrophic knee injury in 2005 ended the fairy tale. Culpepper never fully returned to form, and neither did the Vikings at quarterback. Now, if Culpepper was the heartbeat, Adrian Peterson was the soul. You can't talk about Vikings greatness without mentioning AP. From the moment he hit the field, it was clear we were watching something transcendent. His 296-yard game as a rookie, still the NFL record. His 2,097-yard season coming off a torn ACL, one of the greatest athletic feats of all time. Peterson ran angry, like the ball owed him something. And defenders? They paid the price. He's not just a running back. He's a living, breathing NFL myth and a guaranteed future Hall of Famer. Lining up in front of him, Jim Kleinsasser, the unsung hero, a fullback tight end hybrid with hands of stone and the heart of a warrior. He didn't care about touchdowns. He cared about contact. And for a decade, he bulldozed paths for Vikings runners and protected quarterbacks with a kind of brutality that never showed up in box scores. But Vikings fans? Real ones? We remember. And who was catching those bombs? No surprise here. Randy Moss and Justin Jefferson. Moss changed the NFL. Period. Defenses literally had to reimagine how they lined up when number 84 was on the field. He was too fast, too tall, too explosive, and he knew it. You couldn't cover him. You couldn't outjump him. You couldn't even talk trash to him because he invented the game's swagger. Then there's Justin Jefferson, a player who didn't just arrive, he erupted. From the moment he hit the league, he was setting records and breaking ankles. Smooth routes, elite hands, and an intensity that makes him impossible to ignore. In just a few seasons, Jefferson has already claimed a spot beside Moss. Not just in Vikings history but in NFL lore. Kyle Rudolph takes the tight end spot, a steady presence through chaotic years. He wasn't the flashiest, but when you needed a red zone target, Rudy delivered. With more time and health, TJ Hawkinson might steal this spot, but for now, Rudolph's legacy holds strong. Now, here's where it gets spicy. The offensive flex goes to Percy Harvin. Look, from 2009 to 2012, there was nobody more electric with the ball in their hands. Lining up at receiver in the backfield on kickoff returns, Percy could do it all. Before injuries slowed him down, he was an MVP candidate, a matchup nightmare, and the kind of player that gave defensive coordinators sleepless nights. You never knew what he'd do next, only that it would be spectacular. Let's move into the trenches, the offensive line, often forgotten, but absolutely critical. Bryant McKinnie anchors the left side. A mountain of a man who protected blind sides with power and poise. Next to him, Steve Hutchinson, arguably the best guard of his generation and a Hall of Famer. In the middle, Matt Bierk, a Minnesota native who became one of the most respected centers in football. On the right, David Dixon brought grit and power, and finally, Brian O'Neill, a modern-day technician who's blossomed into one of the best right tackles in the league. This unit didn't just block, they set the tone for every offense they anchored. Now we flip to the defense, where Vikings dominance often begins. On the defensive line, you get nightmares in human form. Jared Allen, the mullet-wearing sack artist with a motor that never stopped. Everson Griffin, whose energy fueled this defense for nearly a decade. Kevin Williams, quiet, powerful, relentless. And Pat Williams, half of the legendary Williams Wall. A run-stuffing beast who made sure nothing got past the line of scrimmage. And yes, the defensive flex goes to Danielle Hunter, because how can you leave off a guy with 87.5 sacks in just 9 seasons? A physical freak with freakish production. Quiet off the field, deadly on it. Linebackers? You already know. Eric Kendricks and Anthony Barr. Kendricks, the brain. Barr, the brawn. Together they covered, tackled, blitzed, and led. They were the heartbeat of Mike Zimmer's defense. In the secondary, Antoine Winfield reigns supreme. A cornerback who hit like a linebacker. He could tackle, cover, blitz, and do it all at 5 feet 9 inches. Alongside him, Xavier Rhodes, who in 2017 shut down the league's best. And Cedric Griffin, steady, smart, underrated. A true glue guy in a dangerous secondary. Harrison Smith leads the safeties, no debate there. A decade of dominance, over 30 picks, 20 sacks, and countless plays that flipped momentum. Next to him, Corey Chavos, a former corner turned safety with hands like glue and instincts to match. And now, we reach the final stretch. The phase of the game that can decide everything. The part that too often gets overlooked until it's too late. Special teams. These aren't just the guys who fill in the gaps. These are the players who can win or lose a playoff game in a single snap. And as Vikings fans, we know that truth all too well. Let's talk about kickers. The name we're putting on this all-21st century team? Blair Walsh. Now hold on, before you click away, before the pain of that missed 27-yarder against Seattle bubbles to the surface, hear me out. Because before that crushing moment, Blair Walsh was automatic. As a rookie, he nailed every kick from 50-plus yards, 10 for 10, and was named a first-team All-Pro. That season was legendary. That season gave us hope. That season showed us what a kicker can be at his absolute peak. Yes, his story ended in heartbreak. But legacies are defined by more than one miss, and Walsh's early brilliance earns him a spot. Chris Klugh gets the nod at punter. Say what you want about his off-field activism. On the field, Klugh was consistent, strategic, and had a knack for pinning opponents exactly where he wanted. He gave the defense room to breathe. He was a weapon in field position battles. At long snapper, it's Andrew DePaula, a model of consistency and precision. You only notice long snappers when they mess up. DePaula? We hardly ever noticed him, and that's exactly why he's on this team. Now let's talk about returners, the sparks, the game changers. A kick returner, it could only be Cordarrelle Patterson. He's not just the best in Vikings history. He may very well be the greatest kick returner the league has ever seen. His vision, burst, and fearlessness gave us some of the most electrifying plays of the decade. Whenever Patterson was back deep, there was always that chance he might take it to the house. On punts, Marcus Sherrills. Quiet, reliable, dangerous. The hometown kid who turned into a cult hero. Sherrills wasn't flashy, but he was fearless. He fielded everything, trusted his blockers, and made more out of nothing than anyone expected. And don't forget our special teams ace, Heath Farwell, a tackling machine who made a living on kick coverage. His energy and leadership helped set the tone, especially during the grinded-out games where field position was everything. With every name on this list, we've not just picked players, we've picked stories. Legends who made us cheer, cry, believe, and sometimes scream at our TVs. From the dominance of Adrian Peterson to the elegance of Justin Jefferson. From the brute force of the Williams Wall to the agility of Antoine Winfield. From the deep strikes of Dante Culpepper to the lightning returns of Cordarrelle Patterson. This team, the Vikings All-21st Century team, is more than a roster. It's a timeline of glory, heartbreak, and hope. A reminder of how far we've come. And maybe, just maybe, how close we are to finally lifting that Lombardi. So now that you've seen the full 21st Century Vikings dream team, I've got one question for you. Who did we miss? Who absolutely deserved a spot? And who do you think shouldn't be anywhere near this list? Drop your thoughts in the comments right now. I'll be reading every single one. And if you haven't already, smash that subscribe button and turn on the notifications bell, because more exclusive Vikings content like this is dropping every single week, and you do not want to miss what's coming next. This is Minnesota Vikings News, and we're just getting started. Skol, and I'll see you in the next video.